So you know when you're trying to install a version of Windows and you get to that screen where it asks you to select which version of Windows you want to install? Oh, what? Sorry for the technical difficulties. Right here, it asks you to select which edition of Windows you want to install. Well, what if we replace this screen with different versions of Windows entirely, like Windows 11, Windows 10, Windows 7, Windows 8.1? What if we just replace all of this with the pro editions of every single one of those versions? Well, that's what we're going to try to do today. So we're going to try and attempt at a minimum do Windows 7, Windows 8.1, 10, and 11, put them all into one ISO file. We're going to try Vista. I heard that this might not be compatible with Vista, but at minimum we're going to try 7, 8.1, 10, and 11, putting them all into one ISO file and making ourselves an all-in-one Windows ISO file. And the way we're going to do this is we're going to use a command prompt tool that comes with every edition of Windows. It is called DISM. And this is basically, I don't know what it stands for. Hold on, let me pull it up real quick. The Deployment Image Servicing and Management tool. It's a command line tool, and we're gonna basically, it's used for imaging. It's used by lots of IT professionals for creating custom Windows images, but we're gonna use it to make an all-in-one ISO file for as many versions of Windows as we possibly can. At minimum, Windows 7 and above. So to do this, we first need to take out the WIM files in each of these ISOs. Now, the WIM file is basically the install of Windows that's going to be copied onto your computer when you're doing the Windows installation process. So if I go into like Windows 11, for example, I'm going to use 7-zip to look into the ISO file. And if we look over here, we go to sources. And if we scroll down to the letter I, we'll see that this is the install.wim. And if we go into install.wim, you can see, well, it looks a little bit confusing, but if you go into one of the folders inside the WIM file, you'll see that there's your install of Windows right there. So now these folders each indicate a different edition of Windows. Like this is actually what we see in this photo right here. One of these is Windows 11 Home, Windows 11 Home N, 11 Home Single Language, Education, Education N, etc., etc. So that's what each of these folders within the WIM file indicate. And DISM refers to these as indexes. Now what we can do is we can actually make a custom WIM file, install.wim, where we just put different versions of Windows entirely, Windows 7, Windows 10, Windows Vista, Windows 8.1, and just refer to them as different indexes or different folders within the WIM file. So we're going to try and do that today. I did some preliminary research, so we're going to try and use some commands. So what we want to do first is we're going to go to File Explorer, and you might notice that I tried this already at some point. It was kind of a let's just say it didn't go as well as I thought it would. But here we go. We have our files here. We're just going to make a folder on the local disk called WIMs. Go into here. Here's the all-in-one folder. So this is where we're going to create the custom all-in-one install.wim. And basically the idea is once we create that custom WIM file, we're going to put it onto probably the Windows 11 ISO, replace the one that's already in there, and then we should boot into it and we'll see what happens. So so first thing we're going to do is we're going to extract the WIM files for each edition of Windows. I did not do Windows Vista, so let's just go ahead and do that real quick. All right, and we'll go one by one. First, opening the archive, dragging it out, and see what happens. Alright, there's Vista, so now we have the install.wim inside the Vista folder. Now we're going to do 7. And I'm also going to be careful here because what I want to do is I just want to get all the pro editions of Windows into this into this menu here. So I just wanted to say Windows 10, Windows 7 Pro, and Windows 10 Pro, and Windows 8.1 Pro. And I hope you all enjoy this video. It's been a while since I've just kind of experimented with Windows and just do random stuff on it like this. So alright, so Windows 10 has a compressed version of the WIM file. It's called install.esd instead of install.wim. When we make the all-in-one ISO, we do want to make it a WIM file, so I'm going to make sure that when we do this, we're converting it into a WIM file. If we have to convert it, maybe we can just add the addition on. I don't know. We'll figure that part out in a little bit. All right, that's Windows 10, and then finally Windows 11. The media creation tool is the one that that gives you ISO files with ESDs. Since I got the Windows, oh great, I don't have enough space. Are you serious? Oh, okay, I know what I did. So before I started this video, I actually tried to expand the storage of the virtual machine. The guest doesn't recognize that storage, so I need to do it. Yeah, you see all this unallocated space. I need to expand that storage. Only problem is, okay. This might be an issue. I thought I could expand it. All right, new plan. We're going to just store the ISOs that we've already done and put them on this extra partition that I thought I could have just expanded the volume. Don't worry about this. So we're just going to drag everything that we've already done and put it into here. Yeah, so I hope this gives you a pretty good tip. Make sure to do this on a computer that you have enough storage with. I don't know why you do it with, 64 gigabytes of hard disk storage, 63 gigabytes. Make sure you do it with something that has more than 63 gigabytes. Just a tip of the day. Let's go ahead and finish this off. We're going to drag the Windows 11 WIM file into the work folder. All right, there we go. So I'm going to just to be on the safe side, put the Windows 11 ISO back onto this volume. And there you go. So now we have all our files ready. Now we just need to launch the command prompt and start running commands, basically. So what we need to do is we need to first look at each edition of Windows, make sure we're getting the pro editions of each and copying it into the WIM file in the all-in-one ISO. So let's just say, and this is going to be some command line stuff, so if you don't like that, you can look on the YouTube video chapters and just skip ahead. But in this case, we're just going to go ahead and start running some commands here. So the first command that we want to run is this one. So first we just need to get info on the Windows 11 WIM file. So to do that, we need to look into the file and look at what editions are currently on the WIM file. So I think we already know that it has like pretty much every single one, but just for proof of concept, and we need to do this for all of them anyways. So WIM file, there you go. So as you can see, this is all of the editions of Windows in Windows 11 WIM file. And you can see that it's literally all the editions that we saw within the WIM file when we opened the folder. So if we go back and open the archive again, we'll give it 1 second here. You can see that it's all those folders that we saw before. So what we want to do is just take out the Windows 11 Pro edition, right? So this one identifies itself as index 6. Windows 11 Pro is the 6th index on the WIM file. So what we're going to do now is we're going to export just that one into its own WIM file on the all-in-one ISO folder. So to do that, we're going to do dism export image. I haven't memorized this, by the way. I'm just reading it off of my notepad here. So we're going to go ahead and click enter. And what this is going to do now is, as you can see, it's creating a WIM file for just the 6th index, which is okay, I can't scroll it because it's exporting right now. But right now, it's basically just creating a WIM file with just Windows 11 Pro on it. No, not the other editions, just Windows 11 Pro. And I think it's just doing its final checks. There we go. So now I'm going to go ahead and run the get WIM info command again. And we're going to check on the WIM file we just created. And there you go. Now we have a WIM file with just Windows 11 Pro on it. And just for proof of concept here, open archive. There you go. Just one Windows 11 edition on it, and it has all the Windows 11 profiles. So now we're going to do the same thing with Windows 10. And basically, if we run this previous command right here, if we run it again, so if we basically change nothing about this command, but instead use the source image file as Windows 10, it'll actually add on to it. So it'll just append the image onto the WIM file. So now there will be 2 editions of Windows on the WIM file. I know that sounds confusing, but we're just gonna do it. So first, we're gonna get info about the Windows 10 WIM file. So as we can see, install the ESD for Windows 10 has the Pro edition, and that one's also index number 6. So that makes things much easier. So now what we're gonna do is we're going to run this command again, except this time we're going to change the path to Windows 10 and install the ESD. Source index 6 is still Windows 10 Pro. I'm going to press enter, and we're off. So 100%, and I can already see that the size of the WIM file, of the all-in-one WIM file, is increased a lot. So that's something. I just saw that. Okay, there we go. 100% complete. So now, if we do the same thing, we get info for the all-in-one ISO. There we go. Windows 10, Windows 11 Pro, and Windows 10 Pro. That is good. That's good. Okay, it's going well so far. So, and just to verify, let's see the contents of the file real quick. There we go. 1 is Windows 11, 2 is Windows 10. All right, so Windows 8 install.wim, and looks like the Windows 8.1 ISO just has 2 indexes, so we just need to take the first index. So let's do it again. We will take this export command. We will export the Windows 8 ISO, and this one is a WIM file, so it should be much quicker. That one was source index 1 for Windows 8.1 Pro. We're putting it onto the all-in-one ISO. We're off. Really, I'm only using 2 commands to do all of this. I'm using the get info command and in this command here, just replacing some paths. That's really it. So really, anyone could do, hypothetically, anyone can do this. If you have all the right ISO files, and you have a Windows machine with DISM, which all Windows machines should have DISM, or at least the vast majority, you should be good to do this. You can literally just do this at home with a random laptop. All right, there we go. That is 100% done. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. Oh, would you look at that? Windows 8.1. All right, let's just keep going. So let's go ahead and investigate the Windows 7 ISO. All right, so you got home basic, home premium. So this one, we want to get the professional version, which is index 3. We're just going to run it again. So we're just going to go back to this command here, replace this one with Windows 7, and then we're getting source index 3. All right, and we're off again. All right, operation completed successfully. So let's go ahead and get info on the all-in-one install.wim again. Look at that. Windows 10 Pro, Windows 11 Pro, Windows 10 Pro, Windows 8.1 Pro, and Windows 7 Professional. And we're going to go to get info on the Windows Vista WIM. Fun fact, by the way, Windows Vista, there was no professional version of Windows Vista. It was actually named Windows Vista Business. Basically just the professional version. And it looks like it's the first index. So yeah, as you can see, let's go ahead and append the Windows Vista Business Edition onto the ISO file. And I don't even know if it's going to work, but we're going to give it a shot. So Windows Vista Business, let's click enter. And now we have a 18 gigabyte WIM file. All right, there you go. So let's go ahead and get info on the all-in-one ISO. Would you look at that? We have every edition of Windows released since 2006 all in one WIM file. Then we have to put it into an ISO file. So we should be good. Let's go ahead and use 7-zip just to look at the contents of the WIM file itself, just for fun. As you can see, 5 different editions of Windows all in one. Okay, so what we're going to do just to make this as, I guess, realistic as possible, and also just to make the process of putting the WIM file onto an ISO a little bit easier, we are going to basically take a physical USB drive, which I'm holding right now. It right now has just a normal bootable Windows 11 image, and we're going to go ahead and plug it in. And what we're going to do is we're going to navigate to it. We'll go to sources. Again, this is a normal Windows 11 USB. Nothing special about it, but what we're going to do now is we're going to put this window on one side, go to the WIMs folder, take the all-in-one ISO. We have the WIM file right there, and we're going to go to install.wim right over here. Delete this, drag this one in, and this is probably going to take a really long time. No surprises there. All right, it has been done. So now we have the 18 gigabyte install.wim file. Okay, this is good. So we're going to go ahead and now I'm going to go ahead and close this machine, or at least pause it, and we're going to go ahead and try this out. All right, create a new virtual machine called Windows All-in-One. Oh, would you look at that? Let's see if it recognizes it. Oh, perfect. Yes. Okay. We're about to test if this is going to work, but I am staying cautious. This might not work, but we're about to see. I've been recording for an hour and 40 minutes now. This is crazy. And actually, I paused the video for a second as well, so it might have actually been 2 hours. I don't even know at this point. It is stuck on the Windows logo right now. I hope this is not I hope this is not just frozen up randomly. I hope this is actually going to work. Oh, it's loading. I think it was just because it was such a large WIM file. I think that's probably why. Come on. All right, we're on the setup screen. All right, here we go. So English and English, US keyboard layout. I agree, and let's click next. All right, I don't have a project key. We just want to see all the editions of Windows. That's it. That's all. This video's... No! Okay. No, where... I didn't need a project. Great. Okay. Okay, we might need to skip the project. Come on! That was so close for a second. Okay, so what do we need to do? We basically need to... Okay, the Windows Explorer has decided to crash. What is going on? What even happened to my icons? Okay, the icons are the least of my concerns, to be honest. Okay, so let's backtrack a little bit. Let's try the Windows 10 ISO. I don't know if it's going to make a big difference, and I wouldn't be surprised if it does, but it is still worth a shot. Better than trying Windows 11. I think Windows 11 is already, it's too new for Vista and above. So, all right, Windows 10, let's give this a shot. You know what? We'll give it a shot. We'll put it in NTFS. Because the problem with FAT32 is, and I know it says it to default, but the problem is it won't fit anything larger than 4 gigabytes to my knowledge. Alright, so 22H2, Windows All-in-One, NTFS. I got it from Microsoft's website, so I don't know why it's giving me this revoked UEFI bootloaders detected. I really don't know why. Anyways, whatever the case is, we're just gonna go with it. We're gonna click OK again, and we're rolling. Alright, and as we did before, alright, delete install.esd, that's the compressed version anyways. And now, let's go to the all-in-one ISO, and drag it in here. And now we're going to probably wait another 15 minutes because this file is extremely massive. What is happening right now? It feels like everything... Why is the activate Windows... Why is it so massive? Alright, there it is. I'm gonna go ahead and pause this machine, and we're gonna go ahead and try it again. Again, this is the all-in-one WIM file on a Windows 10 ISO, and we're gonna see how well it goes. Alright, we're booting up. Let's see how it goes, and I'm really hoping that this works because I've been here for way too long. Okay, Windows installer, we'll click next. I like how it just says Windows, makes it a little bit more... general as to which version of Windows you want to install. So maybe Windows 10 works a little bit better. And I hope that this doesn't cause problems. Oh, would you look at that? We actually got to the page where I could actually do something. Awesome. Okay. We're going to install Vista and see how it goes. Let's just go for it. Windows Vista Business. Next. I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, look at this. It has the license agreement. Oh, that's awesome. Would you look at that? Windows Vista Service Pack 2. I accept the license. Is this actually going to work? I would be shocked if it did. I'm still very suspicious. I don't know if this is, but it's literally doing it. Is this actually going to work? Look at this. This is crazy. All right, restart now. Okay. Is this really working? No! There's a blue screen! That's literally what I did not want it to happen. Come on! This is exactly what I was hoping wouldn't happen. Okay. Let's try. Let's see what happens. I don't think it's gonna work, but... Yeah, Windows recovery. It's not good. Let's start Windows normally and see what happens. It does show the window... Okay. Yeah, no, it's completely messed up. Let's try installing 7 instead. I mean, hopefully that makes a difference. I don't know. Alright, I don't have a product key. Listen, at least we've got further than when we did it before with the Windows 11 ISO. Let's try Windows 7 Pro. I'm hoping that this works, and if it does, great. If it doesn't. If Windows 7 doesn't work, I'm going to install the Windows 10 image and just see what happens to make sure it's not the entire WIM file that's just corrupted or something like that. If 7 doesn't work, like, look at this. It made the partitions and everything. So, I'm really hoping. Let's just see if 7 works. I don't know. All right. It is finishing up here. Apparently, it's installing updates. It's finishing up. Okay, good. Now we're getting to Windows 7 here. Come on. 7 is turning on. How did this happen? Okay, so apparently Vista might not be compatible. But I'm glad we got 7 to work. This is amazing that we got 7 working finally. No! Come on! This is like a battle. Why is 7 not turning on? Okay, yeah. Okay, let's try installing 10 on the all-in-one 10. Like, I don't know. Let's just give it a shot. Alrighty. Let's install Windows 10. I mean, hopefully Windows 10 works. Obviously, Vista and 7 didn't. Do we want to just go up the list? You know what? Let's do 8.1 as well. I mean, 8.1 should be more close... What? Oh, I booted off the Windows 10 ISO, not my USB. Okay, that makes more sense. Okay, we're going to try 8.1. We're gonna try 8.1. We're gonna do something, alright? We'll have to... One operating system we have to install today. At least one. We have to get one installed. I'm not gonna stop until we get at least one. Look at this. 8.1 is also showing the license agreement. So there needs to be something here. I'm really hoping that this is just the VM and not the USB, because it looks good. It's like literally it's just showing showing the EULA, showing all the additions. All right. 8.1 restarting. Okay. This is looking good. No Windows installation error so far. Oh man, 8.1 is it working? I think 8.1 is working. Is 8.1 working? This is leaving a lot of questions in my mind right now, I have to say. Okay. Look at that. Windows 8.1 is working. We'll go through the setup process. There's not really anything special from here on out. Look at this. We got it installed. I think I'm going to go ahead and just test Windows 11 as well, just for the benefit of the doubt. Doing it again. All right, Windows 11 time. I don't have a product key. Windows 11 Pro. Accept the license terms and agreements. And we're going to click next. You know what? Now that we're here, I might as well test Windows 10. All right, we are getting close to the finish line here. All right, restart now. Okay, looks like Windows 11 is installing properly. I'm so happy that I'm seeing screens like this. I've been here for 3 or 4 hours, and like I'm like seeing just errors and blue screens and Vista and 7 not working. I'm glad that we're getting at least a little bit further than before. Yeah, okay. Well, we'll go to the... If it asks us to update and take a really... actually, it's gonna ask us for a Microsoft account anyways, probably. Actually, no, it's the Pro version, so I can just... Some people, like, I'm not gonna say they're over-exaggerating about the Microsoft account thing, because it is definitely a problem. But if you're running the Pro version of Windows, it is very easy to get past that screen if you just click a few buttons and you know what you're doing. And I'm going to show that to you real quick now that we're here anyway. You want to use Windows 11 without a Microsoft account? Well, here you go. You just click set up for work or school. You're not actually setting up for work or school, don't worry. You click sign in options, then you click join domain instead, even though you're not joining a domain. And then you just type in your local account, click next. Put a password if you want. I'm not going to do that. And you're all set. That's it. If you're running the Pro version of Windows, it really is that easy. If it does... Okay, we're not going through this. Windows 11 is working. Windows 11 works, alright? There's no problem with Windows 11. Because we did 11, we did 8.1, let's just do 10, and then once 10 works, we'll end it off, and then we'll figure out why Windows 7 and Vista aren't working at a later point. Alright, install again. I'm honestly at least happy to see that the operating system versions are there. Look at this. Windows 10 edition, it's all here. It's all here. It's awesome. Alright, looks like this portion of the setup one. I'm expecting 10 to work. For a second, I thought that was the blue screen of death that I didn't want to see. But it's actually fine. It's actually okay. So this should boot into the Windows 10 well, it is booted, but it should go to the out of 10. What is the out of 10? Out of box experience. Out of 10, I am really losing my mind, but it's all good. It's fine. It's okay. We made progress today. I'm happy that I made an all-in-one USB. I'm happy about that. So, you know, there's something to this. Okay, good. Okay. So, we're going to go through the setup screen. It shouldn't update like the other one, and if it does, I'm just going to stop there. All right, perfect. Windows 10 is installed. I think I've been here for almost 5 hours now. That is no joke. I'm going to go ahead and do a voiceover to conclude this video since it sounds like I'm about to fall asleep. So to conclude here, 7 and Vista are the only versions of Windows in the WIMP file that aren't working properly. Every time we try to install it, we restart and it just goes to a blue screen. And it's a different blue screen like I haven't seen before. 8.1, 10, and 11 on the other hand are working flawlessly without any issues whatsoever. And I do want to mention that I did try making an ISO variant of this WIMP file. Like this entire video I was just using a USB stick, but I did try and make an ISO version after all this footage you saw, and it did pretty much the same thing. So it's hard to say what the issue is. It might just be a matter of compatibility, but we're gonna go ahead and take a pause here and do a part 2 later on where we hopefully try and fix the issue. And if you all have any feedback or any suggestions, I'd be happy to look into it and maybe we can find a conclusion together. But that's about it. Thank you all for watching. Leave a like if you liked the video, and if you want to see a part 2, subscribe to the channel for more tech-related content, and I'll see you all later.